Mike, you said to me as we were preparing to do our video shows, should we talk about your 76ers? And I started to smile. I thought, well, either this week or next. It's about time we start talking. They're relevant. They're 10-3. You know, I hate to say this, but they could be undefeated. They played the 2 losses were close games. All 3 losses were close games, I should say. This is a team that's playing really well. Defense has been phenomenal right now. They're playing really good team defense. They have depth. They go 9 deep, and there's actually some veterans that can come off. And Nocioni isn't part of that mix, but he can play.
Yeah.
Quality veterans as a Nocioni, as a Tony Battie are. And you've got the smartest thing I think they did was they didn't make changes in the offseason. The Eagles made a bunch of changes in the offseason, and look what it got them. I think Rod Thorne and Doug Collins, sort of almost the Pat Gillick philosophy of just be patient. Let these guys play. They're young, and it's paying off right now.
I really love the way they're playing. They lead the NBA in point differential. They lead the whole league in point differential. It's pretty remarkable. Part of it is the schedule, but not all of it. And you talked about 9 deep. I think there's 2 guys who kind of have emerged, Spencer Hawes and Jody Meeks. Those are 2 guys who you would not have thought of as anything other than kind of marginal guys who really have contributed. I mean, Spencer Hawes does a lot of good things, and Meeks gives him that shooter. You take those 2 guys away, then the 9 deep becomes 7 deep. Well, you know, everybody has a couple guys they can bring off the bench. I think those 2 guys are kind of critical to what's happening here. What has to happen is Thaddeus Young, Drew Holiday, and Evan Turner have to become championship caliber players, and then I think they have a chance to become the Detroit Pistons of 5-6 years ago and going back. I think they have a chance to be that kind of a group. If those 3 guys can emerge as really championship caliber players, I'm pretty optimistic. I'm more optimistic than I expected to be about the Sixers.
People bring up that schedule, and you can only play the teams that you have on. They've taken care of business by a big margin. They're not just beating these teams; they're blowing them out.
That's right.
The other thing is, I think right now, they're better than the teams they're playing, but they're probably in the East the 3rd best team. I'll give Chicago, I'll say Miami Heat, but based on records, only Chicago is better than them in the East, and only in all of the NBA, OKC and Chicago lost yesterday, so actually the Sixers and the Bulls have the same record. So they're one of the top 3 teams in the East, top 3 teams in the NBA, and based on record right now.
And crucially, I think they're the best team in their division. And right now, I think they have a 4-game lead in their division. So, I mean, that's significant because the season it's about 20% over now. I mean, the 4-game lead is kind of significant. And although I think they have at least 1 loss that they wouldn't have had with normal rest, I think that they are as well suited as any team in the league to take advantage of this ridiculous, compressed schedule, which because they have the young legs and because they are athletic and because they have depth, I think they're pretty well suited to deal with that, although nobody should have to deal with it because it's ridiculous.
David Stern needs to go because this is ridiculous. This is not quality NBA basketball.
Remember when David Stern was regarded as this sort of cutting-edge, terrific, trailblazing commissioner?
He had Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson.
Good call, Starkey. God love you.
A couple quick numbers. 2001, they started off 13-3. A January record, I should say, and they had 14 wins in 1983. We all know that was a phenomenal year.
Yep.
The NBA as a whole, this is a joke, 3 games in 3 nights, but teams like the Sixers are equipped to handle it better than other teams. This is going to be fun to watch.